woman at the center of the scandal at this prestigious university speaks out. What she says happened.
She then made that fateful decision. She returned to the house and continued dancing.
Then, Devil Cat.
I think he's got a screw loose in his brain.
There's even a restraining order against him.
It was shocking. I didn't know what hit me.
Should the cat be killed? And paper shredders. How safe are they?
It grabbed her fingers and just began pulling.
What happened to their little girl?
I just knelt there and held her little face in my hand.
Plus, uproar over U.S. Supreme Court Justice Scalia. Did he really make an obscene gesture? And the school that didn't stand a chance stuns the nation. On campus with the crazed kids. Now, Inside Edition with Deborah Norville.
Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Diane McInerney in today for Deborah Norville. She says she was so scared. Those words come from an interview given by the woman who says she was gang raped at a house party by members of the Duke University Lacrosse team. April Woodard has the latest.
The dancer who says she was gang raped by players on the Duke University Lacrosse team is breaking her silence. In an interview with the News and Observer newspaper, she says she thought she would be dancing for 5 men at a bachelor party. But when she arrived at this house with another dancer, they were surrounded by 40 rowdy young men. We started to cry, she says. We were so scared. After she started dancing, she says the men began yelling racial slurs. She got upset and left the house, but several of the men followed behind her into the street and apologized. She then made that fateful decision. She returned to the house and continued dancing. In police documents obtained by Inside Edition, she tells police she was pulled into a bathroom and told, "Sweetheart, you can't leave." She claims 3 males sexually assaulted her. She told police she attempted to defend herself but was overpowered. She told the newspaper she almost didn't report the rape. Quote, "My father came to see me in the hospital. I knew if I didn't report it, he would have that hurt forever, knowing someone hurt his baby and got away with it," she said. Rowdy behavior has plagued this neighborhood for years. The school even hired someone to field concerns from residents. And just last year, police broke up a party that made national headlines just 5 doors down. It featured bikini-clad students wrestling in baby oil, a scene right out of the movie Old School. As the lacrosse team trained as usual, protests by students and residents continue, expressing outrage over the alleged rape and what some have claimed is a wall of silence maintained by some members of the lacrosse team. Protesters were handing out flyers like this one, which has most of the pictures of the lacrosse team. It says that police aren't getting the cooperation they need, and the headline says, "Please come forward." The 3 lacrosse team captains who live in the house say the players have cooperated. With Duke in a national spotlight, the atmosphere on campus is tense.
Results of DNA samples taken from players are expected sometime in the next few days. Did he or didn't he? Supreme Court Justice Anthony Scalia stands accused of making an obscene gesture while speaking with a newspaper reporter. And as Les Trent reports, the debate between the justice and the Boston Herald isn't over whether he made the gesture, it's over what the gesture means.
It's no fun being a Supreme Court justice.
He can say that again. The jury is out in an uproar involving U.S. Supreme Court Justice Anthony Scalia, seen here as Grand Marshal at a Columbus Day parade. The main piece of evidence? This photo of Scalia making an Italian hand gesture.
Many people interpreted that as something, if not obscene, then certainly rather vulgar.
Ken Chandler is editorial director of the Boston Herald. He and Scalia are on opposite sides of a debate that's got sparks flying.
He accused us at the Herald of really watching too many episodes of The Sopranos.
The row started when Scalia attended Mass at a Boston cathedral last Sunday. Boston Herald reporter Laurel Sweet asked him what he'd say to critics who might question his impartiality on religious matters.
He said, "Yeah, well, you know what I say to those people?" Made the hand gesture, and then he said, "That's Sicilian." And I believe I said, "I'm from Boston, I know what that means."
The Herald initially ran a story without the controversial photo, saying the gesture was obscene. Scalia responded by faxing this letter to the paper, denying that the hand motion was rude.
The Justice writes, "It's come to my attention that your newspaper published a story on Monday stating that I made an obscene gesture inside Holy Cross Cathedral in Boston, no less. the story is false.
Scalia's letter also says of the hand gesture, I explained its meaning, which was that I could not care less. In a front-page article Thursday, the paper ran the photo for the first time, and the Herald quoted the photographer as saying Scalia also used an Italian curse. But the Herald reporter covering the event says she never heard Scalia utter any obscenity. So just what does that hand gesture mean? We asked Joseph Scelsa, president of the Italian-American Museum in New York.
I wouldn't call it rude. It's a common expression used by Sicilian Americans and others to indicate that they've had enough of a conversation, it's over and enough.
That's one opinion. In the case of the justice's gesture.
The NCAA basketball tournament is down to the final 4 teams with one huge surprise. George Mason University tied the record as the lowest seeded team to ever get to the Final Four. And the team's success has the school in a frenzy. Kim Dean reports.
Let's go Mason! Call it Mason Madness. The George Mason University basketball team from a little-known commuter school outside of D.C. has defied the odds and made it to the Final Four.
By George! The dream is alive!
We were on campus for a final pep rally, the biggest one in school history. Check out the line for Final Four t-shirts winding through the Student Center. Expect to wait 2 hours for one of these babies.
This is gold here at George Mason.
In David and Goliath fashion, the team has brought down college basketball giants, including the highly favored University of Connecticut, stunning the country and even their own fans.
I'll be honest, I'd pick them to lose in the first round, so.
But now, with the bandwagon full, students here are enjoying the national spotlight.
Everybody else in the country is like, George who?
Yeah.
And even George Mason himself is getting into the act. Take a look at all the school colors.
On campus, people wait in line for players' autographs, and the coach, he's been elevated to rock star status.
And the secret is out. We are members of a very large family called George Mason University.
Now the team is off to the Final Four. Once again, they are the underdogs, a role they now welcome.
There are people, and they didn't know where George Mason was.
I think they know now, don't you?
I think you put it on the map. George Mason plays University of Florida on Saturday. So just who was George Mason? He was a patriot and delegate to the Constitutional Convention who is called the father of the Bill of Rights. Martha Stewart made headlines being under house arrest. Well, now a cat is following suit. That's right, Louis the cat is actually being held under house arrest after being accused of terrorizing his neighborhood.
He looks peaceful now, but some say Louis is one crazy cat.
I think he's got a screw loose in his brain.
Louis is under house arrest in Fairfield, Connecticut. A restraining order forbids him to go outside. He's accused of attacking a half-dozen people, including Janet Kettman. She says Louis was lying in wait under her porch one night and jumped her from behind.
All of a sudden, my leg was on fire. And I looked down, and there is Louis having hors d'oeuvres on my leg.
These photos show the injuries of another victim of Louis the cat. Now the entire neighborhood lives in fear.
They were concerned that Louis was just going to, jump out of a bush or run after them and attack them.
Now Louis's owner, Ruth Cicero, faces charges of reckless endangerment for letting him run free. She denies any wrongdoing and says Louis is normally sweet and loving.
I've apologized for what has happened. I am sorry for what they've had to go through. But it is a cat. Use a little common sense.
Cats can be unpredictable. Watch this one from stupidvideos.com. It's from a public access cable show. At first, the cat just wants to escape, but then things turn ugly. Louis's owner has tried Prozac to calm him down, but he refuses to take it. Now town officials may be forced to take more drastic action.
There is a possibility that we would order a disposal order which would require the cat to be euthanized.
For now, Louis remains under house arrest. The closest he gets to the outside world is a plate glass window.
He's in, he's contained. Leave him and me alone.
But neighbors are still on high alert for this crazy cat.
I look behind my back often. I look around. Is Louis around?
Police have arrested supermodel Naomi Campbell for assaulting her assistant by throwing a cell phone at her.
Supermodel Naomi Campbell was arrested Thursday morning at her swanky Park Avenue apartment in Manhattan for allegedly throwing a telephone at her assistant. Police say the woman was rushed to the hospital with a gash to the head that required 4 stitches. Campbell was arrested and brought to this Manhattan police precinct where she was charged with assault. An ugly day for one of the world's most beautiful women.
Campbell's rep says this was retaliation by the assistant after she was fired.
Next, the lost assassination video. It lay in a box all this time. On the 25th anniversary, what it reveals about the attempted assassination of Ronald Reagan. Then, paper shredders. How safe are they?
It grabbed her fingers and just began pulling.
What happened to their little girl?
I just knelt there and held her little face in my hands.
Plus, Star Jones 911, the urgent call for help.
We have a patient who is on our surgery table who we cannot stop from bleeding.
Inside Edition with Deborah Norville. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm DeWitt Johnson with Touching the World Music Ministers. Join me each Sunday morning for some of the very best in gospel music at 3:35 a.m. right here on your CBS channel.
The hottest accessories come from Hunters. Ladies, here's what you need for your SUVs.
Getting in and out of your SUV is easy with Nerf bars from Hunters.
They can install them, too.
Join the News Channel 5 network and the Nashville Songwriters Association International for the 14th annual Tin Pan South Songwriters Festival, March 28th through April 1st. Catch great songwriters like Minter Williams, Matresa Berg, Rodney Crowell, Beth Nielsen Chapman, Gary Burr, Victoria Shaw, and more performing all over Nashville. Buy a 5-day club pass for $75 and club hop to over 70 shows. For club passes or for more information, call 1-800-321-6008 or visit tinpansouth.com.
On the next Access Hollywood, Kristen Cavallari. Is she Nick's new girl?
Everyone wanted the interview, only Access landed it one-on-one with the 19-year-old blonde beauty.
Then, Felicity's flashbacks.
This should be interesting. We get to do a scene with Mrs. Brady.
How she's taking over your favorite TV classics. And movie classics, the 9 to 5 reunion 25 years later.
I said, oh my God.
Next Access Hollywood. Friday night at 11:35. Magically turn your stuff into cash with News Channel 5 E-Classifieds. Whether you're selling a mixer or a mansion, your car or your clothes. It's easy, it's local, it's free. There's nothing to lose except for the thing you don't want. You'll never think of classifieds the same way again. Bid, buy, sell, free at News Channel 5 E-Classifieds. Only at newschannel5.com.
It was 25 years ago that the nation watched in horror the attempted assassination of President Ronald Reagan. The footage is some of the best-known news footage ever, and now we've uncovered more of that video. Kim Dean reports.
After 25 years, it remains a moment seared in history. The attempted assassination of President Reagan in March 1981. This rare, unedited video of the shooting captures the chaos and stunning clarity. It sat on a shelf in a Washington News archive for nearly a quarter century. It was found just after President Reagan's death in 2004, among tapes that were going to be trashed. Washington News Network Director of Operations, Mike Seam.
When I first popped the tape in the deck, I mean, I was amazed. I was surprised.
Press Secretary James Brady flinches as he's struck by the bullet which changed his life. 25 years later, the effects are still apparent as he speaks bitterly about John Hinckley on Thursday's Good Morning America.
I'd like to give him a taste of his own medicine.
Give me a patrol car up here! The video shows the heart-stopping sights and sounds after the shooting as the camera keeps rolling. Secret Service agents call repeatedly for a patrol car for shooter John Hinckley, who was behind a mound of cops and federal agents.
Unit, get us a marked unit! Get some marked unit so we can get out. Get a patrol car!
Secret Service agent Tim McCarthy lies wounded, tended by another agent.
Get out of the way!
2 minutes and 10 seconds after the first shots ring out, gunman John Hinckley is led away. Incredibly, the posse of agents and D.C. police officers around Hinckley can't open the rear door, and they take him to a second patrol car. It all happens just as an ambulance arrives to aid the wounded.
Guys, back it up. Let the ambulance in here.
The wounded president was taken to the hospital seconds after the shooting, but there was still a scene of carnage on the sidewalk with Brady, McCarthy, and another victim, Washington, D.C. police officer Tom Delahanty, laying wounded. The moment is still as shocking now, a quarter of a century later.
Back up, back up. Get him out! Get him out! Get him out! Get out! Get him out! No!
More than 22 million American families now have shredders in their homes, many because of concerns about identity theft. But a little girl's accident underscores the dangers of shredders to children and pets. Matt Mahar has the story of one family whose daughter fell victim to a home paper shredder.
At first glance, you might not be able to tell that there's anything wrong with this beautiful 5-year-old girl. But look a little closer at Hallie Morrison's left hand. Her fingers are cut off at the knuckle.
Amputated. I think the doctor described them as being crushed, mutilated, and non-viable.
How did it happen? Hallie was feeding paper into a shredder in her home when her fingers got caught in its powerful blades.
It grabbed her fingers and just began pulling.
And Hallie's not the only one. The Consumer Product Safety Commission has issued a safety alert after receiving 50 reports of injuries from paper shredders since 2000, most involving children younger than 5. Hallie's father, Matt, is an accounting professor in Salt Lake City who often works at home. He says he had just opened the shredder for the first time and after using it, left the room briefly. Hallie, who was just 2, went into the room with her older sister.
Next thing I knew, while I'm making dinner, my 5-year-old is yelling, she's stuck, she's stuck.
I just knelt there and held her little face in my hands and tried to get her to talk about kitties and puppies and all the things that she loves.
Hallie's father says the opening in this shredder, made by a company called Royal, is so flexible it can allow a small child's fingers inside. This animation, produced by Hallie's attorney for a lawsuit, shows how the accidents can happen. Hallie's father used a pencil to show me just how powerful this shredder is.
It's taking the pencil right in with it.
Yeah.
Hallie's wounds took months to heal. Her dad still chokes up, remembering Hallie's reaction the day the bandages came off.
She went like this with her hand. She couldn't even look at it. It was just
a sad day.
Yeah, that was really hard to watch her go through that.
Hallie's family is one of about a dozen who have sued Royal, the nation's largest paper shredder manufacturer. Most of the lawsuits, including the Morrisons, have been settled. Michael Atkinson is the family's attorney.
Children should be kept away from paper shredders, particularly those that have problems with the design.
In a statement released to Inside Edition, the company says Royal is always concerned and troubled by any injury sustained by one of its consumers. However, we do not believe that there is any defect in its line of shredders. Royal has changed the design of its shredders. This bar now blocks the opening, and they've added some warnings. But the company has not recalled the older models. But it's not just Royal, and it's not just kids. A number of pets have also been injured or killed by shredders.
It was the most horrifying thing. I was screaming.
Sandra Clark was working at home in her office on March 1st when her curious puppy caught his tongue in a shredder made by a different manufacturer.
What did his tongue look like when you finally got it out?
Like hamburger meat. It was shredded up about an inch. There was blood everywhere.
The puppy's tongue still looks ragged. And these gruesome photos of injuries to other pets show what can happen when animal meets machine.
But yeah, even if you touch them, they're sharp.
As for little Hallie, her parents worry if she even comprehends the challenges yet to come.
She asks us to this day, when are my fingers going to grow back?
Royal, the shredder manufacturer, says parents of small children should not allow them to use any shredder, just as they shouldn't use toasters or blenders. And for more safety tips, you can go to our website at InsideEdition.com.
Still to come.
Such fantastic news.
It really is.
America rejoices over the news that journalist Jill Carroll is no longer being held hostage in Iraq. Now we have reaction from another woman correspondent covering the war from Baghdad.
Plus,
911 emergency.
a just-released 911 call shows just how serious Star Jones' condition was in the operating room during her breast lift. Production assistance for Inside Edition provided by
Watch my dark circles, puffiness, and wrinkles disappear instantly. Sudden Change Under Eye does it. Guaranteed to give you these results instantly. Sudden Change Under Eye Firming Serum.
Stay tuned. There's more Inside Edition to come. She may have the most important body in America.
Whoops, it's my body.
And you don't even know her name. Next Inside Edition.
From the News Channel 5 Network, this is Spotlight on Business.
Now I want you to push the back of your knees down into my hand.
Dr. Clarence Sanders is recovering from a knee replacement. For 15 years, he's prescribed Carol for his patients. Now it's his turn.
The nursing care has been very professional and very attentive, and I can't say enough good things about Tracy.
Is the therapy helping?
She's one of a kind.
When people need medical care and they are homebound, then we can provide that care in all levels of care.
James Carroll and Carroll have been serving clients since 1985. Today, the company serves 54 Tennessee counties from 37 offices.
Our growth is so rapid, we need more people. If you are a compassionate, caring person, we need you. Whether you want to work full-time or you want to fill in on the weekends, we can probably tailor your workload to fit your need.
Everything. I saw it all. Tornado hit right over there.
I heard kind of a roaring noise.
And I heard this roar. Like a train sound.
Yeah, I heard a freight train.
Sounds like a train.
Heard that train come through like what everybody talks about.
Oh, it's coming in.
And it hit. All you hear is debris flying. You heard everything was breaking up, crashing.
I heard other trees hitting the house.
The whole building was shaking.
Yeah, that's when we kind of headed for cover.
Saying, let's go, let's go.
Jumped over a chair. Everybody's jumping over everything.
Barely just made it to the basement.
Out here, up under the door.
I heard the wind, the rain, the lights go out.
And then the lights went out.
I heard a loud bang.
Boom, boom, boom.
And I heard the crash across the house. It started flipping. Everything was laying on top of it.
Buried under rubble.
Just over in just a few seconds. Happened that quick.
Thank God, you know, we walked out alive.
There is only one safe place when severe weather hits. Trust the experience of the Storm 5 weather team. There is no safer place than a storm.
He waited all his life to star in Cabaret.
I've been singing every song from the show.
But this actor never made it to the stage.
I'm shot to the chest, close range.
What happened to him and why?
Neither of us knew what a cutthroat world the theater was.
Don't tell me. You step in my space, you ain't gonna make it to opening night.
I will crush anyone before I let them embarrass me.
I'm innocent.
Hey, this ain't a performance. This is real life.
Don't miss the new Cold Case, CBS Sunday.
Star Jones has been playing down any danger she might have faced during her recent breast surgery. But now a 911 call is giving a new perspective on what happened in the operating room. Stacey Galandi reports.
A just-released 911 call describes the moments when Star Jones's breast lift surgery took a serious turn.
911 emergency. Hi there. This is the Pacific Surgery Center. We have a patient who is on our surgery table who we cannot stop some bleeding.
The release of the 911 call, which was first reported in the New York Daily News, comes just days after Star downplayed the seriousness of her condition when she called into The View.
I did not almost die.
Star admitted she did receive some blood, but said everything was fine. But the fact that 911 was called during surgery shows at one point there was concern for Star's condition.
We have a patient who is on our surgery table who we cannot stop some bleeding.
The 911 call was made at 4:56 in the afternoon. Shortly after the call, an ambulance took Jones here to a second hospital, St. John's Health Center, where she was eventually given blood and stabilized. Now the 911 call gives new insight into what was happening in the operating room.
911 emergency.
Coming up, some good news from Iraq as an American reporter is freed.
Production assistance for Inside Edition provided by
the Abracadabra Total Fitness System.
Hey, you don't have time for perfect abs. You need to get your taxes done.
TurboTax.com. Log on and you're done.
Stay tuned. There's more Inside Edition to come.
Introducing Vital Radiance, a revolution in makeup.
My makeup just wasn't working as well. I just didn't look like myself. She looked like herself, just not as good as herself.
New Vital Radiance, the makeup system for changing skin. The smoothing primer preps skin for your foundation. The line softening makeup really perks up your color. And the Vital Radiance blush, natural, never streaky.
Now she looks like herself, only better. I knew there was a reason I liked you.
New Vital Radiance in your cosmetics aisle. Call for free samples at 1-800-RADIANT.
Good thing there's the speed of Maalox in a chewable, because nothing's faster. Maalox, kick acid.
It was just a few days, but so totally indulgent. Of course, I absolutely trust my Depend underwear. It's practically bunch-proof. Best friends, no worries, nirvana. Depend, because little things mean a lot.
Mom, you're in jail?
I think in 10 minutes I'm going to be forced to join a chain gang.
You may be in serious need of counsel.
You cannot fly. Teddy!
No.
44 spank monster!
Isn't marriage fine?
Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?
It's a true pleasure to see such a healthy family.
Oh, that's us. Help on Parade.
The season premiere of the award-winning Huff. Only on Showtime.
Coming up, reporter Jill Carroll is freed and the country breathes a sigh of relief.
Wine should be inviting, not intimidating. We invite you to join us at The Grape for a wine that fits your personality or just your mood. At The Grape, you'll find 120 wines served by the bottle, glass, and tasting portion. Taste small plate gourmet food in a relaxed atmosphere, indoors or outdoors, on our spacious patio. So join us for lunch, dinner, or to unwind after work. Come every Wednesday from 5 to 7 for our $10 tasting Grape Crush. The Grape in Belle Meade, where taste is all that counts.
Looking in your eyes, I see a paradise. This world that I found is too good to be true. Standing here beside you, want so much to give you this love in my heart that I'm feeling for you.
Let them say we're crazy, I don't care about that. Put your hand in my hand, baby, don't ever look back. Let the world around us just fall apart. Baby, we can make it if we're heart to heart. And we can build this dream together, standing strong forever. Nothing's gonna stop us now. And if this world runs out of lovers, we'll still have each other. Nothing's gonna stop us. Nothing's gonna stop us now.
Could your husband be hiding a dark secret? Danita discovered that her husband was involved with a woman who used to be a man named Freddie. Then the real shocker.
Freddie was wanted for murder, and that's why David paid for the sex change operation.
Whoa! The wife's shocking discovery on the next one time.
Friday at 9 a.m. on News Channel 5.
Finally, America rejoices with the release of Jill Carroll. Les Trent reports.
We cannot stop smiling this morning. This is great news.
Americans woke up to breaking news from Iraq, and for a change, it was good news.
Of course, our top story, freed American journalist Jill Carroll.
The young journalist Jill Carroll was freed 82 days after she was abducted by gunmen in Baghdad.
And all I can say right now is that I'm just happy to be free. I was treated very well.
I spoke with CBS News chief foreign correspondent Lara Logan about the mood in Baghdad.
And I always was hopeful. I really, really hoped, along with a lot of other people, that Jill would be released. But it's almost too incredible to believe.
And President Bush, on an official visit to Mexico, joined in the celebration.
And we're glad she's alive.
It was just Wednesday that Jill's twin sister, Katie, spoke these desperate words on Arab TV.
We would be grateful for any new sign that Jill is well.
But now, Jill's dad, Jim, is all smiles as he rejoices along with the entire nation.
We're feeling ecstatic. It's been a long haul, and we're done with it now.
We'll see you next time.
Champion Ford is truly your truck headquarters with one of the largest selections of trucks in Middle Tennessee. Drive home a new 2006 Ford Ranger for $199 a month, and we'll get you financed today. Take I-40 West, exit White Bridge Road, Champion Ford, take that drive to the west side.
I was pleased with the service I got at Freeway Auto Credit.
My situation was that I had no credit.
But I did have a job, a good job. And that was my credit.
I walked in, I drove out.
At Freeway Auto Credit, everybody rides.
I didn't know how easy it was.
My credit history was not that good. But a friend told me about Freeway Auto Credit.
I don't know what I was waiting for.
So I went to Freeway, and now I'm driving.
At Freeway Auto Credit, everyone rides.
Freeway Auto Credit.
Reading to your child is one of the best ways to help her succeed in school. So read to your child.
We'll provide the books. I'm Vicki Yates, News Channel 5. Books from Birth of Middle Tennessee will mail a new book every month to every child in Davidson County from birth to age 5, completely free.
Call 615-936-3554 for more information. The News Channel 5 network is proud to partner with Vanderbilt Children's Hospital and these important organizations.
One of America's favorite soaps is celebrating 50 years. On Friday's Talk of the Town, we'll talk with two of the stars of As the World Turns about some special upcoming episodes.
The author of this book is not only a great cook, she's the mom of Michael W. Smith. She'll prepare one of her springtime favorites for us.
Survivor is undergoing some big changes. Hear the inside story from the latest contestant to leave the game.
And the fashion do's and don'ts of the season's hottest items, short pants.
Plus spring cleaning tips for the home and car.
And where to find great deals on perennials this weekend at 12:30.
Champion Ford is truly your truck headquarters with one of the largest selections of F-Series in Middle Tennessee. We're making deals happen like this 2006 F-150, just $229 a month. Take I-40 West, exit White Bridge Road, Champion Ford, take that drive to the west side.